So I was going to read a few passages, but the fact of the matter is, like, I could sit here and read the entire word, and yet only those not affected, right, by the influence of the devil or the seed of Satan, right, or the seed of Cain would even understand. Because even less taking it at just the bare base and surface, Jesus said everything that he does is for the Father. That the entire purpose, pattern, and plan is to get into the sphere of the Father, right? Is to get into the Lord God Almighty, Yahweh, Elohim, YAHWH, to get under his mighty protection, remembering the commandments, that it may be well with you, right? All things done in accordance to the Father, me. But yet, man worship and idolatry have you all worshiping not only an idol, but a false idol, and you're in love with it. You're giving glory to the water spigot, not the water. Like, you know, you could literally just spend all day in Psalms. And that's another thing, right? For Christians, you probably don't know this, because I think a lot of Christians are under this assumption, right, that Jesus, is who led, you know, so I mean, Christians, I guess in their mind, right, they think that Jesus, led the Israelites, you know, or like, that's what I mean. I just can't even understand you guys. Like, I'm just, you know, here's another thing, right? Talking to the wife, goddess consort, you know? We were discussing my grievances with the world and why I couldn't just turn face today and said, hey, we're going to start restoring. Like, let's make all these things wonderful. Why? Because those who work with their hands, evil and iniquity, who do not know my name, they do not know the Lord God Almighty, Yahweh, Elohim, YAHWH, me, and they don't want to know me. Because California is a good example, right? You've got how many homeless people and how many rich people, right? See, a truly righteous rich person wouldn't actually ever become rich, because the moment their cup was already full, they've had enough of what they needed, right? Not what their their greedy heart wanted. They would be giving it to others. They would literally be passing it on. Like, my cup is full. I've reached my material purpose and the gain that was needed, right? And it would overflow to the next cup. So that's why, right, in a real human society without sin or fallen nature, you don't even have the issues we have today, because it doesn't exist, right? That incessant need of having a car more expensive than your next guy doesn't exist. The spirit of competition doesn't exist. Not competition where someone's trying to, you know, outdo someone else, when there's anything that actually counts, right? Like someone's livelihood or, you know, financial gain or gain in any way, right? There are things that, like tests of strength, right? But still, that's done in terms of honor, right? That's in terms of looking at something abstractly and saying, like, Hercules was, you know, this demigod because he performed this, you know, this, that, and the other for his pantheon, and then he got demigod status. Like, that was the honoring of, like, a Hercules type of figure, or an Achilles if we want to go like Greek. But what I mean is, we still have massive homeless populations. We still have abominations being born by the minute. We still have the mainstream, right? Instead of hedging with righteousness, you can't even find a righteous TV show to watch anymore. Like, even if you go back to the 80s or even the 70s, like, even then you can see clearly that when the boundary was starting to get muddied, and then it didn't take any time at all, right? The movements in the 60s and the 70s all really just fueled that up. So you guys dropped the ball many, many times throughout history, but I'm not going to try to blow any more peanuts, because I think I'm speaking to like the wall at this point. Like with most of you, like you just don't understand me. I don't know if I'm talking in like a foreign language that children of earth can't hear. Like, I don't know. Like, am I too ugly to be your God? Like, what's the truth here? Like, I don't know. You know, I was, you know, like I said, I was lamenting on some of the Psalms that David wrote, and I mean, you know, there's definitely not a heart of David in this ungodly place, but, you know, if you just were to explore Psalms for a minute, random Christian, right? At this point, I suggest my best tip for the masses, right? Even if you're not in a church, I'll double bless you. If you're not in a church, the best thing you could do, right, is tell those church people to find God now. His name is Yahweh. And his flesh body is YAHWH. Right? That'd be the best advice you could do, guys. Because if you go, and like I said, into almost any part of Psalms, you know, I don't even like to start in Psalms because I have a tendency to want to read all of them. It's edification that is very satisfying in a world that is very unedifying, very stubborn against me, very unbelieving against me, you know, works through their carnal mind, not their spiritual one. And that's another thing, right? If I go upstairs and I talk to any being, there's no sin, right? There's no sinful beings at all. Not one person has any negative word to say about me. Nothing. But vice versa. I have not one complaint about anyone in the realms. But everyone is very much their own identity. They have their own purpose, usually intertwined with my purpose. Very rarely, if actually none, right, have any purpose that's not associated with something that's being accomplished for my creative pattern. But what I mean is, you know, I feel like I have to get, like, as I'm here in the flesh, I feel like I am literally taunted day and night. I am set to wrath day and night. And then when I have to come out, you know, of my refuge here, it's like I feel like all I really do is spit venom at you guys, and then you wipe it off like it doesn't even exist. And I get more and more mad because I'm like, I'm either mad that they're that infected with the devil serum, right, that they've already been snake bit by the Jesus cult thing, and it started so long ago, and it's a part of the plan, but it doesn't mean it's still any less heart-wrenching. You understand? Because you got people, they know not what they do. Like, it is, you know, the needy, again, you know, that's what I mean, is if people were serious enough about not wanting this place to be completely destroyed, and those that are able to go up, and then what remains down here of a carbon-based civilization is eliminated, right? There's going to be no more carbon-based civilization. Like, so, right, and if you're caught up into that shitstorm, then you have really no other options. But, you know, the wicked will return to Sheol, even all the nations who have already forgotten Yahweh. Everyone, every nation, including Israel, you know. You know, Psalms 9:15, you know, arise, O Yahweh, do not let man prevail. Let the nations be judged before you. Put them in fear, O Yahweh. Let the nations know that they are but men, and you are but men. Truly, as I tell you, you are. And, you know, why do you stand far off, O Yahweh? Why do you hide yourself in times of trouble? In pride the wicked hotly pursue the afflicted. Let them be caught in the plots which they have devised. For the wicked boasts of his heart's desire, and the greedy man curses and spurns the Lord. The wicked, in the haughtiness of his countenance, does not seek Yahweh. In all my thoughts, in all man's thoughts, he says, there is no God. The wicked man's ways prosper at all times, it seems. But my judgments are on high. The man thinks they're out of sight. As for all his adversaries, he snorts at them. He says to himself, I will not be moved. See, so many of you false teachers and pastors, you say this to me every day, and you'll say it again to me this Sunday, but some of you won't have an opportunity to say it to me this Sunday. Your missed opportunity, not mine. Throughout all generations, you say to me, you will not be in adversity. Your mouth is full of curses and deceit and oppression. Under your tongue is mischief and wickedness. You sit in lurking places and villages, and hiding places you kill innocent people. Your eyes stealthily watch for the unfortunate. You lurk in hiding places as a lion in his lair. You lurk to catch the afflicted. When you catch the afflicted, you draw him into your net. Even as he crouches down, you draw your bow down upon him. Many unfortunate ones fall by the hand of Satan and his mighty ones. That man says to himself, God has forgotten. He has hidden his face. He will never see it. You think you're hiding under the blood of sacrifice, you primitive, tribal, backwards, half-baked creation that I wouldn't even put on a desolate planet for fear I would offend the planet. As David said, arise, O Lord, O Yahweh, lift up your mighty hand. Do not forget the afflicted, and I would never. I will raise thee. You who have no home, I will make sure you have a home. You who are destitute, I will pull you up from destitution. You who are lost will be found. You who have truth in your heart and in your mind, and have not transgressed against my name, and have not broken my commandments without a repentance, you I will move forward. But David says, why has the wicked spurned God? Because you all say to yourselves that I will not require it of you. You say to yourselves that because you claim your idol's name, because you claim that you are saved under blood, that it has no end for my grace. But you are wrong. That is the opinions and thoughts of wicked and evil men. That is not the truth. The truth is that that gives you the option and ability, right? Since you guys know money so well, let's talk money. If you have a 400 credit score and you go on to that Lexus car lot to buy your new Audi for 80 grand, you better have cash, because they're not going to finance you with a 400 credit score. You would need to pump that bad boy up to, 600 or better to get out of there with a decent interest rate. Now, in terms of salvation and heaven and me and realms and places and things that actually matter, right after your piece of paper, your little man vessel is thrown away, if you want anything else after that, or you don't want to burn in an eternal lake of fire because your energy can't go anywhere else, then you need to pull your credit score up from like a negative 900 up to at least like a 720, right? Get clean, be repentant, the commandments, and that's like the actual work you have to do. Knowing my name should be the easy stuff. Like, we should be having arguments at this time saying, okay, you guys keep saying my name, but you're still sinful as hell. You keep saying my name, but you're doing this wrong. Like, I can't even get you idiots to get truth. Like, you guys are that stupid. I mean, literally. It's befuddling, but yet you guys work your little hands, and that's what I mean. You're so proud of your little accomplishments, and it's so funny seeing you all from my angle, because you're all poor in my eyes. You are poor. You are blind, deaf, dumb, and poor. But David says, "But Lord, you have seen it. You have beheld mischief and vexation to take it into your hands. The unfortunate commits himself to you. You have been the helper of the orphan. Break the arm of the wicked and of the evildoer. For the Lord, you shall seek out wickedness until I find none." Yes, indeed, that's a part of this plan, right? It's like if we were talking about, I'm in front of an assembly, so we're gonna do an experiment, like imagining. So I'm on the podium and everyone's in the audience, and I say, okay, all those who think they know the true name and have no sin that has been unrepentant, and all things have been truth, right? So that person essentially is ready to stand up in that assembly. I call on them and I go, okay, what's my name? What's your prayer? You should know my name, Yahweh, YHWH, right? And then your prayer, right? That person would move on. But then, let's say there is this electric force field that, say, 1,000 get up and they start walking towards the front because they don't think that sin could have been seen, or that they professed or they confessed to themselves, right? You can't confess to yourself a sin because then it's not absolved. So imagine those 1,000 people, and about 900 of them all, they explode. And then you just see these little sparkles. It's their soul. It's just kind of suspended in the air. And then I'm going to take my button, open it. It's like a big vacuum, and it's going to just suck them all down. And then the person on the podium, right, goes, "Oh my gosh, yeah, what was that?" And I say, well, that was called truth and reality. They all, they didn't have their green lights lined up. And when I said, "Are they ready?" they lied and said they were, and they moved forward, and there was either a sin found in them that was unrepentant and confessed, or they used the wrong name, right? Like something. It's like, imagine you're going through, when you go to the courthouse or you go to like an airport, right? And you go through one of the body scanners and it like tells you. So then it's like, I'm looking at the body scanner and I'm like, okay, all you church people, like, you guys have all got to go over here to this room and sit, because you're all like carrying sin. You're all carrying like non-approved items. You can't take this into this area and you're trying anyway, right? You're evil, you're wicked. So in this assembly, right, they would have all been dead. And that process may not be as literal as you guys are going to be in an assembly, because at the same time, that would be like, you would think at that point people would get it, but still it wouldn't. But this is happening on a person-to-person basis, on a church-to-church basis, and it's all happening in the spirit and in the realms. Like every last bit of it. And, so it's like, if you were serious about not wanting the earth destroyed, then you guys should have figured out how to solve your homeless problems, figuring out how to actually provide homes for anybody and everybody, period, 100%. You should be able to solve your homeless problems quite easy if you're loving your brother as thyself. Because again, if you're having, that's what I mean, like, and there's so many layers to richness, right? But And it's not just about the rich part. It's that your cup has been full. Most of your cups have been full generations ago. Right? That's evil. That's iniquity. You're going to hell. I'm telling you, you're going to go to hell. You know? I'd rather go to the zoo and try to take a camel and that needle. And I mean, needles are smaller than that. But I mean, in general, like, here, try and come through it. No. Because again, right, if you were genuinely righteous and you were pure, or you at least sought the righteous path in any shape or form, well, using the false name isn't going to help you. But where's that false name going to take you? It'll take you down. You'll be 20 camels big. Think of that. You fat cats. Well, you're fat, I'm not. You know what I mean? And you're not a camel. And I get it, right? You're like, well, I'm in. I ain't got to worry about that till this time. But at the same time, you guys turn on the news. People die by the day, by the hundreds. It is what it is. But as I am back to Psalms. So here's another one, right? The Lord is king forever and ever. Nations have perished from his land. O Yahweh, you have heard the desire of the humble. You will strengthen their heart. You will incline your ear to vindicate the orphan and the oppressed, so that man who is of the earth will no longer cause terror. Thus, the purpose, right? Because see, if I leave just one infected alive, then they're going to reinfect it. Because I want you to understand is these are principalities in the fact that, like, let's say we had 500 righteous people, but only one unrighteous woman. That one unrighteous woman could start peddling, narratives to essentially start vying for power and control over the 500 because of the demon seed, right? They have these unfulfilled needs and wants that drive iniquity. It drives a divide between the poor and the rich. It drives a divide between truth and lies. It divides this line in every situation, whether it's in healthcare, finance, homes, children, adults, marriage, food, everything. It's all layered. Oh. In the Lord Yahweh, this is David in Psalms again, I take refuge to you, O Lord. How can you say to my soul, flee as a bird to your mountain? For behold, the wicked bend the bow. They make ready their arrow upon the string, to shoot in darkness at the upright in heart. If the foundations are destroyed, what can the righteous do? Well, righteous, I'll tell you what you can do. Follow me into paradise. That's what you'll do. Know when and where what things are happening. Stay close to me. Because this is quite literally a situation that you want to make yourself known to me. Right? Whether it be in prayer, but I'm saying, like, you will. It's back in Psalms, David. The Lord Yahweh is in his holy temple, for the Lord's throne is in heaven. His eyes behold, his eyelids test the sons of man, and I do, because I see every one of you. The Lord tests the righteous and the wicked. I do. I test in lots of ways, right? With the righteous, what I like to do as far as tests is, obviously I don't try to give you guys tests that could derail you, but I try to do enhancement tests, right? Like putting situations where it's like, okay, you're going to have usually like a righteous outcome, but could you work a situation a little more righteous? You know, I'll circle around to that one. I got to find a good parable up here, and I want to not break too far away from this at the moment. Where was we at? Oh, that's right. Testing the righteous and the wicked, and the ones who love violence, who my soul hates. Upon the wicked I will rain snares. Fire and brimstone and burning wind will be the portion of your cup. For I, the Lord, am righteous, and I love righteousness. The upright will behold my face and know my name. Psalms 12. David. Help, Yahweh, for the godly man ceases to be, for the faithful disappear from among the sons of man. They speak falsehood to one another, with flattering lips, and with a double heart they speak. May the Lord Yahweh cut off all flattering lips, the tongue that speaks great things, who have said, with our tongue we will prevail, our lips are our own. Who is Lord over us? Y'all say that to me. Because of the devastation of the afflicted, because of the groaning of the needy, now I will arise, says I, the Lord Yahweh. I will set him in the safety for which he longs. The words of Yahweh are pure words, as silver tried in the furnace on the earth, refined 7 times. You, O Yahweh, will keep them. You will preserve him from this generation forever. The wicked strut about on every side, when vileness is exalted among the sons of men. 13. O long, O Lord, Yahweh, will you forget me forever? How long will you hide your face from me? How long shall I take counsel in my soul, having sorrow in my heart all the day? How long will my enemy be exalted over me? Consider and answer me, O Lord, my God, Yahweh. Enlighten my eyes, or I will sleep the sleep of death. And my enemy will say, I have overcome him, and my adversaries will rejoice when I am shaken. But I have trusted in your loving kindness. My heart shall rejoice in your salvation. I will sing unto the Lord Yahweh, because he has dealt bountiful with me. The fool has said in his heart, there is no God. They are corrupt. They have committed abominable deeds. There is no one who does good. I, the Lord Yahweh, have looked down from heaven upon the sons of men to see if there are any who understand, who seek after me, God. They have all turned aside. Together they have become corrupt. There is no one who does good, not even one. Do all the workers of wickedness not know, who eat up my people as they eat bread, and do not call upon me, the Lord? There they are in great dread, for God is with the righteous generation. You would put to shame the counsel of the afflicted, but I, the Lord, is that man's refuge. Oh, that the salvation of Israel would come out of Zion, when the Lord restores his captive people. Jacob will rejoice, Israel will be glad. Alright, we'll do Psalms 16. Preserve me, O Yahweh. I take refuge in you. I said to the Lord, you are my God, and I have no gods beside you. As for the saints who are in the earth, they are the majestic ones in whom is all my delight, saith YHWH. The sorrows of those who have bartered for another god will be multiplied. I shall not pour out their drink offerings of blood, nor will I take their names upon my lips. I'm going to read that again for a lot of the Christians out there. The sorrows of those who have bartered for another god will be multiplied. I shall not pour out their drink offerings of blood. What do you Catholics do every Sunday? You drink the blood. You are pagans. Pagan demon worshiper is what you really are. And you're all going to get what you deserve. Nor will I take their names upon my lips. I'm going to bless David again for this, because there are so few in history. Daniel's, David's, Elijah's, Ezekiel's, Enoch's, Yeshua's, like, out of the entire epoch of this entire place, there are less than 10 what I consider approved, holy, and righteous men who have walked upon this earth. And you all mostly are disgusting to me. Yahweh is the portion of my inheritance and my cup. He supports my lot. The lines have fallen to me in pleasant places, says David. Indeed, my heritage is beautiful to me. I will bless the Lord Yahweh who has counseled me. Indeed, my mind instructs me in the night. I have set the Lord continually before me. Because he is at my right hand, I will not be shaken. Therefore, my heart is glad and my glory rejoices. My flesh also will dwell securely. For you will not abandon my soul to Sheol, nor will you allow your Holy One to undergo decay. You will make known to me the path of life. In your presence is fullness of joy. In your right hand there are pleasures forever. Alright, I'm going to do 17. Again, David, while he's being pursued by Saul, or persecuted by Saul. Hear a just cause, O Yahweh. Give heed to my cry. Give ear to my prayer, which is not from deceitful lips. Let my judgment come forth from your presence. Let your eyes look with equity. You have tried my heart. You have visited me by night. You have tested me, and you find nothing. I have purposed that my mouth will not transgress. As for the deeds of men, by the word of your lips I have kept from the paths of the violent. My steps have held fast to your paths. My feet have not slipped. I have called upon you in your name. You, O my God, do answer me. Incline your ear to me now, and hear my speech. Wondrously show your loving kindness unto me, O my Savior of those who take refuge at your right hand, from those who rise up against them. Keep me as the apple of thy eye. Hide me in the shadow of your wings. From the wicked who despoil me, my deadly enemies who surround me, they have closed their unfeeling heart. Unfeeling heart. And it's closed. That's a double kick in the butt. With their mouth they speak proudly. They have now surrounded us in our steps. They set their eyes to cast us down to the ground. He is like a lion that is eager to tear, and as a young lion lurking in hiding places. Arise, O Yahweh, confront him, bring him low. Deliver my soul from the wicked with your sword, from men with your hand, O Lord Yahweh, from men of the world whose portion is in this life, and whose belly you fill with your treasure. They are satisfied with children, and leave their abundance to their babes. As for me, I shall behold your face in righteousness. I will be satisfied with your likeness when I awake. I mean, it's everywhere. Like, it's literally everywhere. Unless Satan has rolled out a new Bible that I'm not aware, because I just can't believe that, like, this level of blind spiritual negligence is actually coinciding with, I mean, you guys have to, like, at some point look around you and really have that uh-oh moment. Because, like, I tell you I'm going to flood this area, it happens. People are still walking away befuddled, scratching their head. They don't know why. They don't know what's wrong. It's climate change. Everyone's a liar. Everyone's leading astray. People that are trying to call on help are still using the false name. No one genuinely cares to get to know their God. And, like, I'll put it to you this way. Your numbers are what makes you, it's a contributing factor, right? Like, if someone has bronchitis and they smoke, it's going to increase the coughing. It's going to exacerbate the condition. Your sinful predicaments and situations, right? Your fallen nature is only expounded because of the numbers. Because, again, you know, I said it already, you know, but if there are 5 people and only one person knows the truth, he's actually less likely to even say anything in the midst of those 4. But if we had 4 people that knew the truth in the midst of 5 people, then the 4 have no problem taking up against that 1. That's happening, the 4 against the 1. The problem is the 4 are wrong, the 1 is right. Thus is the world. So, again, you know, and yesterday when I did say, like, blame it on you-know-who, blame it on you-know-who. Directly. Because I've been saying this for months. I've been saying it for over a year now. I am passing that blood payment over to you guys. You know, your reluctance, your false teaching, you're leading astray, you're pissing me off, you don't listen, you're not even showing grace, honor, respect, or anything towards me. And I am your Lord God. And you guys are a pain in the ass. Like, this is our relationship. And, you know, I do what I do trying to bring as many more into the fold as I can. But, like I said, even those that I thought I even won, so many of you guys have pulled back over to the Jesus train. And I'm telling you right now, sweareth I Yahweh, I'm not misleading anyone. I'm telling you the actual truth from he who it was written for and about, and the whole reason why all this even exists. And that's the thing. If you can't see that, that's your fault. Like, that's your fault. Because if you go downstairs, no one's gonna be able to use the excuse like, I didn't know, like, I mean, you really can't, right? You can blame it on Pastor so-and-so, but Pastor so-and-so is going to be right down there with you too. It really depends on how pissed I get with people. Like, you know, people want to talk about limitations. Like, what limitations are you talking about? Again, we've talked about this. You've got planets that exist out there and you guys can't find you can't find, like, microbiology. But yet you look at this place and you've got amazing, you know, everything works with one another. The bugs serve as, you know, they eat compost, which contributes to removing that waste from the earth, and bipartisan, they get eaten by the birds and by the bats, which becomes nutrition for them. Then the bat poops it out and it turns to fertilizer within the earth for then something else to grow. Then that something grows and then it's eaten by the cattle in the field. The cattle in the field then go on to, you know, supply the human with food. What I mean is everything is literally connected and intertwined, and the purposes are very, very glaring, because if they didn't exist, creation would actually cease to exist. Like, you morons, I mean, here's proof of that. Natural landscapes are absolutely stunning, breathtaking, beautiful. Meanwhile, the human race, you guys kill houseplants. Like, you guys can't even take care of a regular yard, right? Because you're either fighting this or you're ignoring that. Like, you guys are abominations. You don't even belong here. Like, you can't even look at yourself in the mirror honestly and go, this is where I belong, really. Because you stand outside, if you're white too long, you're going to be sunburnt. Well, that's not a very helpful trait to be a natural born person, to be a natural created thing, right? Everything on this planet has adaptable skills and abilities without the form of anything manufactured. So I mean, if you guys did any level of self-exploration of just yourself and then your species, like, you should have a lot more people. You guys, that's what I mean, like, pissing me off. I'm trying to watch my potty words. Cameron is going to tear me up. But, like, right now, like, you guys are protesting bullshit. Like, I am so tired of protesters, I can't even stomach it. If you want to protest something that matters. I want to see a sign that says, humans, get with God's purpose. Humans, be a part of creation, not against it. Let's become the real human again. Things like honor, loyalty, righteousness, justice, goodness, concern, charity, you know, just all around wholesomeness, right? Why can't we have, I mean, that's what I mean. We're spending millions and billions of effing dollars on media only to see another cheating movie, only to see another dirty grandpa, only to see murder being dressed up and mental illness being dressed up, and like all the bad shit of your entire species. You guys sell it on a day-to-day basis. Now I'm getting pissed. I'm getting pissed again. All right, I'm taking 5. All right. Sorry. I am trying to do my best to contain my, like, frustration with so many things, because it's very much a case of, on one hand, like, I am not only fueled but perpetually like, I am, like, I've got people that are so good within my covenants, within my spheres, within the name, within their purpose, that my heart literally starts to break because I see how the world is treating my people all the way around it, in the layers, right? I'm pissed beyond belief that how the world, right, treats my chosen people. And when I say chosen, I mean hand-picked by me. Like, hand-picked by me. There are no freebies in the end of days. It is simply those who have the opportunity or have been blessed by a righteous man or woman out there to pass the information along of my presence here. But I am, again, I'm pissed at how the world treats my people, my chosen people, and yet how the world receives the seed of Satan, the seed of Cain. How the world is in love and obsessed with all things wicked and evil. How everything, every technology, every broadcasting system, every person, every vessel, every flesh is corrupted beyond satisfaction, like beyond the point of wrath. Like, it's to that point where, like, if you were, you know, a good father and you had that child that just, like, nothing you've ever done or nothing you could ever do, right, could ever change the child from just being, unfortunately, like, that bad. And there's, like, you kind of get to that hopeless anger. Like, that's where I'm at, you know, with so many people and the world in general. Like, ugh. But as it's written, you know, I will disassemble nation by nation. I will remove kings and replace them. I will take those who have been given a lot, who have refused to give me any, or my congregations any. And I'm talking the nouns, people, places, and things. Obviously, resources can't be trusted with one person on this planet. Nobody on this planet can be trusted with anything, because it's all hoarded. Like, no. The purpose, again, if you were to inspect yourself and then inspect creation to see how the birds work with the worms, work with the earth, work with the clouds, work with the rain, work with the water, the seas, the fish in the sea, how they work with and for the land animals, and also the land animals work for everything in creation, assumes dual roles. Everything in creation serves a dual role. right? And that dual role is always driven by the purpose that was seeded into you as a part of creation. When you are refusing your purpose, you're refusing me, you're refusing my commandments, you're refusing the right ways of things, you're refusing to, shed that wealth and bring up impoverished communities. Instead, everyone's trying to cover their ass, right? Everyone's just CYA all over the place. CYA, pray in private, Jesus Christ, like you guys are all gonna go to hell. Because I consider things like that and rubbing things in my face, I consider it a high treason. And high treason will be punished. So I think my next move, like in a very real way, is going to be, rolling out a 30-page scroll. And I'll just say it now in case, when that happens, there's no technology or anything, but I'm just saying that's a small percentage. Well, I wouldn't say small, but anyway, that I would hope after that, right, if I could just paint a picture, there's no houses to run to, everything's burnt, gobbled up under mudslides, nothing's inhabitable basically, right, and you're just hoping to find another human being wandering the ashes somewhere. When you do, the only thing in common you might have is, did you know about the Creator? Did you know about His name, and that He would be saving like a remnant? And that person's going to cry, grab you by the neck, you're going to embrace each other, you're going to shake each other's head and go, yeah. And they're going to look around and see all the bodies of all the people that either used the false name with a dark heart, right? They were unrepentant, they were unknowing, like all these things. And, I'll be distributing on the back end of things. But I'm just saying, and those people, right, that are left, it'll be yeah. So, just saying, guys, don't be foolish in these times. But anyway, as is written, as will go. But at some point, we'll have to move the bus. So.